Why this works. Creating a brown roux, flour cooked in fat into a paste that thickens sauces, involves carefully toasting flour in fat at a controlled temperature to develop a rich color and flavor. The Maillard reaction, the browning that develops toasted savory flavor, occurs as the flour cooks, resulting in a complex nutty taste and darker hue. This roux serves as a foundation for many sauces and soups, thickening and imparting depth. If the mixture seems too thick or lumpy, add a splash of warm water or stock while whisking to smooth it out. Conversely, if it turns too dark too quickly, reduce the heat immediately to slow down the cooking process and prevent burning, which can create an unpleasant bitterness. Common mistakes. Cooking over heat that is too high. Target medium-low heat, with the flour toasting steadily and evenly. Why it matters. A brown roux develops its color and nutty flavor slowly through the Maillard browning of the flour. Rushed over high heat, the outside scorches before the whole mass has toasted. Burnt roux tastes acrid and bitter and cannot be rescued. It has to be thrown out and started again. What to do? Keep the heat gentle and give it the full 20 to 30 minutes. Color that arrives too fast is a sign the heat is too high. Adding the flour all at once without whisking. Target, flour worked into the butter gradually into a smooth, lump-free paste. Why it matters. Dumped in and left alone, the flour clumps, and those lumps never toast evenly or dissolve later into a sauce, leaving a grainy result. What to do? Whisk the flour in gradually and keep stirring. If lumps form, the recipe's note applies. A splash of warm liquid whisked in helps smooth it out. Stopping while it is still pale. Target, a deep chestnut brown color with a distinctly nutty aroma. Why it matters. A brown roux is defined by the flavor and color that only develop with sustained toasting. Pulled while blonde, it simply won't deliver the depth the recipe is built around. What to do? Cook patiently to a true chestnut color and trust your nose. The smell shifts from raw flour to toasted and nutty when it's there. Leaving it in the hot pan after it's done. Target, off the heat, and out of the pan the moment the color is right. Why it matters. The pan holds enough residual heat to keep darkening the roux past the point you wanted, tipping it from nutty into burnt in under a minute. What to do? Remove from the heat immediately as written. If the pan is very hot, scrape the roux out into a cool bowl to stop the cooking. Note too that a darker roux thickens less than a pale one, so a brown roux is for flavor as much as body. What to look for. Just after the flour goes in, a smooth, glossy, pale paste with no dry pockets or lumps. Mid-toast, the color creeping from pale gold toward tan, the raw flour smell giving way to a toasted note. A deep, chestnut brown with a pronounced nutty, biscuity aroma, toasted, never sharp or scorched. Too far, flecks of near black, a thin acrid smell, or wisps of smoke, signs it has burnt and should be discarded. A note on history. The roux, fat and flour cooked together as a thickener, is a cornerstone of French cuisine, and its first documented description appears in François-Pierre La Varenne's Le Cuisinier François. La Varenne's use of a flour and butter liaison helped replace the older medieval practice of thickening sauces with bread or ground almonds, a shift that marked the move toward classical French sauce-making. The word itself comes from the French for browned, reflecting the toasting that gives darker roux their color and flavor. Autopilot guard summary truth. Approved quality, approved score 100. Similarity, approved score 0.058 versus chicken paprikash. Regulatory, approved image, approved Terumi Brain V1 review grade, B. Overall 82-100. Readiness needs minor edits. Scores, Chef 100, Science 60, Repair 95, Culture 90, Safety 100, Taste 54, Mon 60, Geo 95. Suggested enhancements, one science term, Maillard, emulsion, denaturation, etc., earned in context, would raise the explanation. Naming one or two taste axes, salt, acid, fat, umami, aroma, texture, makes the dish's structure visible. Brain suggested book. What would happen if Romans ate modern ramen?